Go ahead, please. Kelvin, how are you?
Good, Mark. How about you?
Pretty fair. I'm going to imagine with you, the word perfect probably isn't in your vocabulary, but having said that, when you look at what you guys did in the first half, was that as close to a perfect half as you can play?
It was hard to play better. You know, I mean, you're not going to play better than that. So, it's like people that don't really understand this game think you're going to take a 28-point lead to a 56-point lead. That's not usually, at least going to change. It usually goes down. But I thought our kids came out ready to play. We were excited to play. Had great practices this week. I don't remember what night. This was such a crazy week. What night were we supposed to play South Florida?
Thursday night.
So Wednesday night we were there, right? So we had a great practice in Tampa. When we found out the game was postponed, we went over there and had a great practice. Came back, got the next morning, got on the plane, came back here, and had a great practice. And a lot of guys got to play tonight. They're. I thought our kids really prepared well, played well. The shots, we had great looks the entire second half. I don't think Cam could be any more wide open. He goes 0 for 3 or 0 for 4. Same with Marcus and Quentin. We had great looks. Didn't shoot it well. Sometimes you don't shoot it well. You have a tendency to think, well, you guys didn't play good the second half. We didn't play as good as we did the first half, but when you get this deep into the season, tomorrow's January 18th. We're 6-1. Is that our record? We're 6-1 in the league, and we just move forward.
All righty. Anyone else have a question? I don't see any hands raised. Let me know here real quick. We'll go to Joseph Duarte with the Chronicle. Joseph, go ahead, sir.
Kelvin, with the 3-point shooting, the Tulane game and this one, I mean, I know you've talked about 3-point shooting and kind of how this team is, but is it just a combination good shots, good looks, or is there it's just the nature? You kind of you get them to fall sometimes they don't. I mean, how do you explain maybe these last two games in terms of the 3-point shooting?
Well, I don't know what your question is.
Well, I mean, you had 15, I believe, in the Tulane game. You had 8, and most of them were in the first half today. Just in terms of the success rate
yeah. Well, we don't have anybody that's just say, Marcus and Cam are both really good shooters. I would describe Quentin as streaky. Those are the 3 good 3-point shooters. Justin has never been a 3-point shooter, so he's still adjusting to having confidence when he's open. Best thing Justin does behind the 3-point line is shoot when he's open. But his problem half the time, he doesn't know when he's open. So our kids are moving the ball, and it gets to him, and he's open. Next thing I know, he's shot faking molecules and dribbling in the paint for no reason. Shoot it. And then a lot of those wound up being empty possessions, and we had a good shot in the corner to begin with. But that's usually par for the course for someone that has never been behind the 3-point line prior to coming here. He's still getting better, still adjusting. But when we had guys with great strokes like Damian Dotson and Armani Brooks and Corey Davis, they had a lot of good nights, but they had nights when it didn't go into it. That's just the nature of 3-point shooting. As long as we take good shots, though, as long as good shooters are taking good shots, they'll eventually go in. Like Cam, I don't think he could be any more wide open tonight 5 times. He was 1 for 5. Guys were great ball movement. I mean, tremendous ball movement, and then boom, missed a shot. What I was disappointed in wasn't the misses. I just didn't like the way we were committed to offensive rebounding. I mean, we got a lot of offensive rebounds, but this is one of those games I felt like we should have been in the 20s.
All right, we'll go to Chris Gardner. Chris, go ahead, please.
Coach, in a game where you have a huge lead, is there any concern about player slippage or not being as focused finishing out a game?
I've been asked that question 1,785 times over the years, which means we've had a lot of big leads. And that's how many big leads I've seen slip from 30 to 20. What do we end up winning by? Well, I mean, they scored 14 points the last 3 minutes. But, you put all your freshmen in there. That may happen, especially when they keep their starters in. So I don't overreact to any of that, Chris. I mean, if those are the kind of questions that I've got to answer after a game, then that means we're pretty good.
We'll go back to Mark. Go ahead.
Kelvin, you said you couldn't play much better than you did the first half. As a whole, defensively, how do you like where your defense is right now?
First half, outstanding. Second half is a lesson. Second half is actually good for me to go to film tomorrow. It's not like I'm spending a lot of time showing them their made shots. I'm sure they'll spend most of the night looking at that themselves. What I'm going to show them is the stuff they won't look at. So, but teachers are always looking for teaching moments, and we had plenty tonight. A lot of good moments too. If you listen to me and you guys, you think we lost, but I'm pretty sure we won, right?
We'll go back to Joseph Duarte. Joseph, go ahead, please.
Kelvin, on the young guys that you got in there, you see some encouraging things with Tremont and how he came in, and as you kind of maybe get these guys going, like
it was good tonight, Joseph. In the last 3.5, that last stretch when we had them all, the freshmen there at the same time against their starters was Jamal. I like Jamal. You're always, when you're playing professionally or in college or especially, you're always being evaluated. Some of our guys showed why they don't play, and then some of them showed that maybe I should play more. I think Jamal's probably in the latter. But Jamal's one of those kids, maybe I have to do a better job with him too. You're still trying to figure your freshmen out. Like I know how to coach Justin. I know how to coach Dejan, Bryson, Quentin, Marcus, all the veterans. We got a lot of new guys. Reggie's new. His time last year, he was in another school. His time last year, Kebron was in high school. Jamal was in high school. J1 was redshirting. None of these guys were playing college basketball last year except for Reggie. So, of course, when they go in the game against a team that's playing with confidence offensively like Central, they're going to make mistakes. That's why I don't know. I don't care about that. I like the fact that Jamal was playing with great confidence. Tremont made some mistakes tonight, but they were aggressive mistakes. Sometimes when you're struggling to make shots, you have a tendency to hang your game on making or missing. But I told him, you know what, this year, if somebody's ignorant enough to judge him based on his statistics, then you know nothing about basketball. I don't care what his stats are. I care about his confidence, though. I care about him making the right plays. Like how many passes he make out to wide open threes tonight, like Quentin. No, I'm sorry. I think Cam a couple times. We just didn't make them. Another thing is we only had 9 turnovers. We had 9 turnovers and 9 steals and 14 assists. Those are great numbers for us. Took care of the ball. I thought Dejan had 5 assists, but let's be honest, he could have had 15 assists. He could really. I'm probably exaggerating with the 15, but I would say 12. He got in the lane and made the right play because that's what they were giving us, and we just couldn't make the shot, especially the second half. But I just just keep encouraging them to make the right play. Some nights they go in, some nights they don't. But it is important to make the right play.
All right, we'll go back. We have time for a few more questions. We'll go back to Mark Berman for one. Mark?
Kelvin, if I could go outside or off topic for a second. Tomorrow's Martin Luther King Day. I know it's significant in any environment, in any year. Do you feel like it takes a little more significance given what we've been through this year, this past 12 months?
Of course, especially May 20th and January 6th. You know, what happened on those two dates makes January 18th more significant. I have something planned for our team for tomorrow. I'm not going to share it right now, but I want our guys to continue to ask questions, to continue to have dialogue with each other. I think that helps them grow, makes them realize that a lot of times they're so insulated and so cocooned. I don't even know if that's a word, but they live in a societal cocoon. You have society, then you have athletics and basketball, and we're in the middle of our grind. Basketball players don't live normal lives during the season, just like women's basketball, men's basketball, swimmers, baseball players. We're all consumed by our day-to-day rituals and our routines and the grind that we're in. And a lot of people that what you're paying attention to, our guys don't necessarily talk about it. But we bring up things to get them to ask questions. I think our kids are paying attention more now than they ever have because of what's happened in our country. I don't think there's so many things that have brought racism to the forefront as what happened on May 20th and January 6th.
Thank you. Okay, are there